Right, you scurvy lubbers, you recovered some half-full barrels of water out of the flotsam that Equius had. Equius has agreed to join your scurvy crew as long as you'll let him continue to take sea measurements as you travel round the seven seas. And you basically had set out for Brigandy Bay, as you have a ship, but with no cannons upon it.
Yes, we kind of need cannons. We need them.
Right, Mr. McAllister, you be the captain, so can you give me some kind of ship roll?
Some kind of ship roll. Boating, perhaps?
Aye, do the boating. It's a success. Right, it takes you a couple of weeks to reach Brigandy Bay because it was your crew was just getting used to working together.
Did we have to eat any of the crew?
You do not have suffered any mishap. However, by the time you get there, fresh water is getting low, and you're sick of picking the weevils out of biscuits. The crew's doing the best they can to fish to give you at least a little bit top up, but you're all quite hungry and thirsty and worn out. Can you give me some vigor rolls for ye crew, because ye crew are fatigued for sailing with half rations for so long?
That's a vigor roll. It's not as good as the pre-recorded vigor roll, but that's a vigor roll.
Mr. McAllister, he has his half hard tack for the day, and he's like, all chipper. It's like, this is all you need as a pirate to survive, is a mouthful of stank water and half a hard tack biscuit.
I'm not sure I want hard tack in my mouth, thank you very much.
Mr. Roberts, can you give me a vigor roll, please? Right, it succeeds, but you're looking very bedraggled by the time you're approaching Brigandy Bay. You've got a thick stubble, and your eyes are sunken behind, sunken into the sockets. But you pull into Brigandy Bay, which is the island which is just to the north of Karatoa, which is the big island with the volcano that's split in two in the bottom right-hand corner of the map there. And after a couple of weeks at sea and half rations, you pull in. It's a large pirate town. You have familiarity with it before. Brigandy Bay has no harbour master, no law, and no city watch. What it does have in plenty is plenty of scurvy dogs who are quick to join a vessel in search of plunder.
That's what we need.
So you pull into Brigandy Bay, and there'd be a charge of a few pieces of aid for you to pull up upon the dock. Unfortunately, Brigandy Bay doesn't have a dry dock, because although you have done repairs to the ship, it would benefit certainly to a good dry docking, as it were. A good dry docking. And
a good dry docking.
And scraping the barnacles off your hull.
Never heard it called that before.
Ye filthy town is infested with the dregs of Cabridus. The docks are poorly maintained, though serviceable, and lined with a series of warehouses. The place has been higgledy-piggledy built, using quite a lot of wood from the flotsam sea and anything else. Old bits of ships turned into houses. Anything that could be used or repaired has been turned into this gigantic pirate city. Generally, you'll find that just because there's no city watch, disputes are often solved by the cutlass, but unless it's a very big offence, that everybody generally just fights to first blood. It has many legitimate businesses, predominantly carpenters, smiths and coopers. There's an open air market known as Thieves' Paradise although most of the wares on sale are required legally. There's many taverns and inns, and basically you arrive at this large town, and now what would you like to do?
So is there any way we can get any kind of repairs done on the ship? Like,
yes, you can. There's carpenters and things like that who could do repairs, but obviously because of the damage the hull suffered, it would benefit it if you got it dry docked. You'd need to go to one of the bigger ports to do that, though. But you could certainly find a carpenter willing to, for a few pieces or 8, to start patching up the hull from the inside.
Yes, I'd like to do that. Also, we could probably do with some fresh rigging and some proper sails, because everything on our ship is jury-rigged.
It's a friggin' in the rigging.
Well, if we don't sort out some proper rigging, nobody's going to be friggin' in the rigging. Whether we've got anything to do or not.
Well, your first thing to do is, are you telling the lads, get yourself ashore and go and meet some Sallys round the corner?
Aye. And I'm giving them some cash to do so. If you would give me some idea how much I should give each of our gentlemen.
Well, the standard amount of pieces of 8 for a good carouse and the town is a D6 times 5 per person.
Aye, but lads, we're a bit short on money, so you might have to get a group bonus.
How much for the pair of us?
You might have to get a group bonus. I like it. I have dragged the image of the saucy maiden into me hotbar. You might actually think I'm getting the hang of this. Right, can I roll once for all days? Or do I have to roll individually every day? Because you know how much I love maths.
No, just roll once and then that's per person.
Okay. Oh, that was a good roll.
Sweet.
So it's 1 plus 1d6, so that's 2 times 6 is 12.
So no, it's just 5 pieces of 8 per person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they really be high class on this port.
So that's 30 pieces of 8 per day. Do we know how long it's going to take for the repairs and everything? Because I want to give them enough so they can, like, I don't know, have chill. 3 or 4 days of chill and then be back to the ship to help finish off. But yeah, just basically depends on how long it's going to take. And then I can plan that out. Because I know if it's going to cost us 30 a day, and I can then work out, okay, lads, you can go for 4 days type of thing. There's, you know,
I would let them have free wander around the port. We're going to restrict them to 1 or 2 pubs.
No, they can do what they want. We're a good captain and first officer, remember?
Yeah, I'm just thinking if they, get press ganged or kidnapped or whatever, and we've got to come looking through the whole town.
Then we'll just have to go and get them back. Leave no pirate behind, that's what my motto is. So, any clue on how long that's going to be, so I can give them enough?
Well, the first thing you can do is you can head round the several carpenters and coopers, and you can give me a roll. And I was just trying to find the skill to see if there's a streetwise, but I believe it's changed.
So, what do you think it goes off now then?
Streetwise is now an edge. Okay, so I am looking at my Swede conversion document here. So what I'm just having a quick look is... What you can do is give me a common knowledge roll, because it's not exactly difficult, or you could do a research roll if you prefer.
I don't have research. Right, you made it. I didn't. So it's down to you, Mr. Roberts.
Yeah.
So you split up. Do you get up at the crack of midday?
You've got to remember, on a boat, you go in 4-hour watches based around a 20-hour day. So some of us get up at the crack of midday. Yeah, crack of midday sounds good to me. What do you think, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well,
laziest pirates ever.
You get up at the crack of midday, and everybody's off the ship except John Smith there, Doctor who has come back, is passed out on the upper deck, cuddled in. He's actually cuddled into the mast with a bottle of rum. Like a mostly empty bottle of rum that's like rolling around the deck next to him, when it's leaving like a puddle of a few drops of rum that were left in the bottom.
Is the wood burning? Is the rum burning the deck?
No, but at 5 pieces of it a day, it's pretty bad stuff, to be fair.
Lightweight.
I can drink more.
Jesus Christ, man! You're supposed to be English. Hang on, is he from the south?
He's from Plymouth.
Oh well, there you go. Apologies to anybody from Plymouth who's listening. Right, should we attempt to wake him up, or should we just leave him there?
He mutters, and he says, "Oh, get off your saucy wench," and like attempts to kiss the masters, as it were.
Yes, we just leave him.
I think we should just leave him for now. Let him sleep it off.
Oh, Mrs. Perkins, what are you doing?
Actually, I don't know. This is quite entertaining. Maybe we should just stand and watch him for a bit. All right. Well, I have no idea where we'd find the people we need to fix the thing.
I think I do, Captain.
And by the thing, I mean the saucy maiden.
Basically, do you stay together, or do you split up and look for different places?
I don't know. What do you think? Go together?
Yeah,
I think we would. You know, because we're both loyal to each other. I think we'd stay together, cover each other's backs, type of thing. Personally, that's what I reckon. And then we'll both know what each other knows. So when you find the dudes, I'll know where they are in case we need them for future reference. And we still got to find somebody who sells cannon and gunpowder and shot and crap. I nearly ran out of bullets, didn't I? Did I? Or didn't I?
Nearly. I think we're down like 200 or something.
I only took 20. Actually, I'm only down to 13. We got particularly nice die rolls last time, so it wasn't quite as bad.
So this image you see here is an image of Brigandy Beer. This is kind of the affair that it is. As you can see, it's a hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, rogues on that, but okay.
They sell everything. They sell everything from cannons to rubber chickens with a pulley in them.
Why would you want to? Never mind.
It's a famous reference to Monkey Island. One of the items you got was a rubber chicken with a pulley in it.
Oh my god! Yeah, I hadn't thought about that for years. Well, I'm following Mr. Roberts because he knows and I know shit.
Well,
So
you may
it's
have
up to you, Mr. Roberts.
You probably have called in, but you've only stopped over briefly. Yeah, the captain obviously didn't give you a chance to have a good carouse round. So it's only a basic success. So it takes you wander around the artisan section for about 2 hours, but eventually you do find somebody who can perform the carpentry repairs, which is going to cost you about 100 pieces of 8. And then you do find a sailmaker who'll come down and sort out your rigging for you, and that's going to be about 150 pieces of 8. You managed to track down the person to do the repairs, but can you give me another common knowledge roll, please?
Oh, we both made it this time. Woohoo!
You travelled to several of the shops that sell the larger weapons to fit on ships, and they all have signs up saying awaiting stock in various free hands. But because you succeeded, you managed to find one. He's down off in a side street. He's not in a main dealership, and as you approach him, it's basically the last shop. You approach his store. Outside there's a big picture of a pirate guy made of flags so that it flaps in the wind with his big arms, and a sign proclaims that it's Captain Carlos's colossal cannons. As you approach, awesome. a large red-headed pirate, rotund with a beard that you could hide a badger in, comes out as you're going in the shop, and he's like, mateys, I see you be looking up me wares. Captain Carlos's colossal cannons. You want to cause a calamity, you need a Captain Carlos's cannon. You want to cause a conundrum, you needs to get yourselves a Captain Carlos's cannon.
Oh, Lord.
He says, come right in and have some rum. It's a freebie with every purchase. Can you please make me a persuasion roll?
It's not a great roll. I mean, it's a...
Captain Collis says, well, there's only one problem, lads. He says, stock's a bit low in Burgundy Bay, as you can tell. The coalition means that you've got to have a chitty, so all I've got...
Because I actually rolled the wrong thing.
You rolled the wrong thing. You didn't get a raise.
He rolled performance.
So he says, I've got one cannon in stock. He says the rest they're the coalition's got them earmarked. Apparently there's some rumour going around that the Burgundy Bay is going to be attacked. So this is why there's such a shortage of cannon, as they're upgunning all of the ships.
Bollocks.
He says, but I can let you have that last £8. I need a chit from the coalition. Yeah. How's the rum? Awful, isn't it? He says,
it's rotten the enamel off my teeth.
He says,
it's lovely.
Captain Carlos can't sell his colossal cannons. He can't afford to buy the good rum. That's the problem.
So is what he's saying he's got one he can sell us, or is he saying he's got one he can sell us, but we have to get a chit?
No, he's got one. He's got one in stock that he can sell, but the rest are earmarked without a chit.
We'll take it.
You look like the fine lads. I'll have it delivered to your ship. What's the name of your ship and where she be docked?
Our ship is the Saucy Maiden, and I don't know. We're docked down at the harbour, but I don't know which pay we're at. Times. Do you remember that?
17A, I think it was. Or was that where the Falcon was?
Okay, I scrubbed out all of that. We only have one
need more than cannon. Ammunition. Yeah, big fella. Have you got any ammunition for this beast?
He says, Captain Carlos, he has got, yeah. He do have some ammunition. I got powder and I've got ammunition I can sell you. That's not a problem. He says, it's getting the cannon. There's a limited amount of metal about, and they're upgunning all of the fleet to fight off this supposed invasion.
Who's supposed to be invading? Does anybody know?
He says, there's always somebody supposed to be invading. One day it's the Kraken, the next day it's the Red Men. It's just a rumour going around, but yeah, they've definitely been buying up all of the cannons.
Right. Okay. Well, beggars can't be choosers. We shall certainly take the 8-pounder, and Mr. Roberts here knows what our ammunition and powder requirements are. He says, full of confidence, looking at Mr. Roberts.
Ah, Mr. Roberts, master Nate ye be.
Oh, I reckon.
Give yourself some grandiose title, because you're the second in command, so you can be whatever you want to be. So you'll be first mate, first lieutenant, great high pumbar, whatever you want.
First Lord of the Admiralty, yes, I think.
No, you can't be First Lord of the Admiralty, because then you would be in charge. And the lads voted me in. You're just going to have to accept it, at least for now.
First Lord of the Admiralty, but just on Friday nights. Wink, wink.
All right. You work that out and tell us how much I've got to cough up.
Right, okay, hang on.
And he says, and obviously when you shot with Captain Carlos's colossal cannons, every purchase comes with a bumper flag to fly off the back of your ship to let everybody know that you shot the Captain Carlos's.
I like the cut of your jib, sir. Oh, that's a point. We're going to have to design a flag. I'd forgot about that.
A big monkey's butt.
Right, so I don't need any bookkeeping off you. You scratch out your order and you say, ask him to have it delivered to the ship, which you do, and you retire to one of the pubs there. The Black Queen is quite close by. It's a large, dimly lit tavern. It's considered the best in Burgundy Bay, which means it's got less rats and the food is edible. It's run by a Masakani by the name of Haluan, and inside there are 3 bouncers, which are a grill, which is one of the sailmen, and 2 of the half red men. The place is packed because it is the most popular pub in Burgundy Bay. It also has 16 indentured girls who are employed to please the patrons.
Ooh.
So you sit down, you have some grog or rum or whatever it be that you wet your whistles while you're discussing your purchases.
Can I have a notice roll? Is anybody watching us?
You can always have a notice roll, sir.
No, I can't even find the bar.
A critical failure. A critical failure. Oh, the only thing you can see is the bottom of your rum cup.
I like that. I can't even find the bar. I shall also have a notice roll, but I am also very rubbish at it. Yep, totally rubbish at it.
Critical failure. So you
I can't even find the bar.
You're both lamenting the fact that all of the cannons have been bought up, and all you can see is the bottom of your rum cups.
I can't believe we did that.
Right, so prepare for terrible accent incoming. Because you have completely failed to notice anything, a portly, well-dressed visitor in a white suit pulls up a chair and sits down at the table with you. He begins talking immediately, and he says, well, my good sirs, I am Augustus Davies from Earth. He says, I am a businessman of some financial means, and I intend to start up a new eatery in this city, offering fine southern fried food, not this muck, as his hand sweeps across the table, knocking over goblets and plates. He says, now, I'm thinking of offering crab meat, not any old crabs, mind you, but big crabs. And I mean big crabs. And he holds his hands wide open. And what I need is some fine men such as yourselves to go fetch me some big crabs. And I'm willing to offer you 250 pieces of 8 per dead crab and 500 pieces of 8 for each live one that you bring to the Alligator Pit restaurant. He says, now, you may ask yourselves, why is this southern gentleman coming to bother us as we are such new in town? He says, but like I say, I am a businessman of some repute, and I am understanding that somebody may be needing a chit. Now, I happen to hold, because of my holdings, a chit for some cannon, 2 8-pounders, as it were, with the good fellow Captain Carlos. Have you met Captain Carlos? Fine businessman. And I would be willing to give you these chit in part payment if you were to capture some giant crabs.
And where are these crabs?
Exactly.
Why, so that is the problem. If I knew where these crabs were, I would be able to go myself, and I would be able to capture them, and then I would boil them up, and we will have us a good old-fashioned crawdown.
I hope when you're saying crabs, you're not referring to scarillions, as we have one of those gentlemen on our crew.
Give me a general knowledge roll, please. No, Mr. McAllister, you know that there are actual giant crabs, like 1950s black and white horror movie-sized giant crabs.
Okay. In that case, we shall be happy to take that on board and try and get you some giant crabs. How many giant crabs are you after?
Well, sir, I would be grateful for as many as you can get your hands on. Each piece of cargo can hold 2 live giant crabs or 6 dead ones. The problem is, of course, finding the little buggers.
And then how do you capture them alive is the question. And how do you get them dead? Because I imagine if the crabs have got quite hard carapaces to try and shoot, cut, whatever through.
Captain, I see we dress a scarillion up as a sexy lady crab.
Dress him up in the way that Bugs Bunny dresses up as Mrs. Bunny. And
Yep.
Oh, that is a genius idea. I'm pretty sure Equanus is not going to go for that. But okay, I shall take that suggestion on board. In that case, yes, we'll quite happily take on this job. So, does he then stay, or does he off, or does he? What does he do?
No, after he gives you his business card. He's like, got the traditional Southern gentleman white suit on with a little bow tie, and the reminiscent of a famous Southerner.
Is his last name Saunders?
Why, no, sir. It's Augustus Davies.
Kentucky Fried Dinosaur would have been better.
As long as you don't have to skin them or get the meat out there, because it's just smashed up crab with its legs hanging over the edge of the thing and missing bits. And
right, we're going to need a local. We're going to need somebody with local knowledge. Because I don't know about you, but I have no idea where we'd find these creatures.
Also, if you want to recruit more transient crew, obviously they'll have to get more shares. You would just have to give me, I would say, give me a smart roll. On a success, you can recruit 1, and for each raise, you'll get another 1.
Right, smart roll.
There are plenty of crew that want to sign on. Wow, okay. However, you don't want any other scum, because literally bringing your base full of scum and villainy. You want at least reasonably reliable men. Do you know what I mean? Who's going to stick to the pirate's code? Well, it's more a set of guidelines.
I intend to be fairly, and I use the term loosely, honourable, i.e. not treat the crew like shit.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got one race, so you can recruit 2 reasonably competent transient crew.
Right. Can I pick what they were out of the criteria we'd set up earlier?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can get because you wanted a carpenter and a cook and a sawbones, didn't you?
Right. So if we can only get 2, Mr. Roberts, out of a cook, a carpenter, and a sawbones, which 2 do you think are the most important?
Carpenter and the sawbones, I would have said.
Carpenter and the sawbones.
But always look in the second most reputable pub for the last one.
Yeah, because well, we need 2 more, but one's just like a randomer. Yeah, I agree with you, because our ship isn't as 100% as it could be, because obviously there's no dry dock. So having a carpenter on board would be useful in case anything, any of these repairs we're getting done turns out to be not as great as we hope they're going to be. And sawbones, obviously, in case anybody gets hurt. But I like Mr. Roberts' idea of trying another pub to see if we can pick up the sawbones and 8 other general seamen. Mainly because I wanted to say general seamen.
Just walk up and shout, "Is anyone here named McCoy?"
You can recruit a full complement of crew. However, there will be suboptimal. I'm assuming that you're actually trying to recruit reasonably competent crew.
I'd prefer if they were reasonably competent and reliable. Those are my 2 main criteria. Because the lads that we've already got already, I think they might not necessarily be super competent. We don't know yet, not really. But I figure they're going to be fairly loyal because we saved them from that bloody monkey.
That'd be true.
And I just gave them 4 days worth of get shit-faced money. So at the moment, I imagine they quite like us. Yeah, I want to do Sean's idea and see if we can find the next decent pub and see if we can find a sawbones and 8 other general seamen.
Right. Well, give me a common knowledge to find a place where that you could recruit decent fellows from.
No, I am. No, neither of us did. My common knowledge skill sucks.
Yes, it does.
Before we leave, I'll go and ask one of the 7 wenches if there's a taxidermy shop in the town.
There will be a taxidermy shop in the town.
They'll probably know where this giant.
Give me a notice roll, please, Mr. Roberts. Oh, you suck so bad. Right. No, there is. Yes, there's a taxidermy shop over by the Thieves Market, right in the back alley down by the side of the Thieves Market. What, are you going to get stuffed, by the way?
Whoever's hiding down the back alley next to the Thieves Market by the side of it.
I'll give you 5 pieces of 8 if you go to one of the pleasure girls. Where can you get crabs?
I am not. No, definitely not doing that. Because I'm worried the answer would be right here, darling.
You can. If you're going to ask around the locals, you can make a common knowledge. If you want to throw a few pieces of 8 around, like if you throw 10 pieces of 8 around, I will give you a modifier of +2 on your common knowledge roll to find a local who can give you crabs.
It's better to be also some more time down the docks fishing. There always is.
Yeah, I don't mind throwing a bit of cash around while we still got it. Okay, so common knowledge rather than persuasion. And what modifier for throwing some cash about?
If you click 2 in the modifier box in the bottom left-hand corner.
There we go.
I got a 10.
Right, so you have a sawbones and a carpenter, is that right? Yes. So you find an old timer sitting fishing on the dock. He's got a pipe hanging out of his mouth and a long bushy beard and a raggedy one hat. He's only got one leg. He's got a peg leg below the knee, and he's sitting there just casually fishing off the dock. And he's like, "Evening."
Ah, good day. We are looking for information. We're trying to find where we would come across some giant crabs, and not of the saucy maiden kind.
He laughs. He's missing several teeth and smacks his gum together and slaps his leg, and he's like, "That's a good one, Sonny." He says, actually, he says, but in my younger years, I'd be sailing around the 7 seas of Charybdis. Yes, I did. He says, no, your big crabs, if you want a lot of crabs, they're all the way back over on the island where the red men live. He says, but yeah, you're talking a while sail. He says, however, there's an island not far from here, only a day and a half sail. He says, it's not very big, but I've definitely seen some crabs when we went past there. He says, you want to go north by northeast and about a day and a half. So I don't know what you're going to do with them crabs. Have you seen this size of the buggers?
We're going to catch them, and then we're going to eat them.
We're going to kill them and grill them. We'd be the not-ugly mobsters.
Yeah, kill them and grill them. I give him a couple of pieces of it to thank him for that bit of knowledge. That's very kind of you, sir. Assuming it's not total and utter bullshit, but you know.
Right, so do you have a sawbones and a chippy, yeah?
Yes, we have a sawbones and a chippy. Oh, while we're talking to the old timer, I said, does he know like a decent pub just around the harbour where we might pick up a couple of salty sea dogs to join our crew?
He says, aye, the best one's the Black Queen, though. There's several around there. I can certainly point you in the right direction.
If you would be so kind. And I give him another couple of pieces.
Right, he points you to a place near the docks. It's a lot rougher because it's where all of the pirates who come straight off the docks pile straight into. There's people slumped drunk outside. It's more rowdy. There's like a guy who's unconscious outside with a bloody nose. Obviously, he'd been in a fight. But it's enough where you can give me you could use persuasion or you could use performance if you can justify it. You tell me how you do it.
Persuasion. I'm slightly less crap at persuasion.
So are you striding into the
I am going to go into the pub, probably with Mr. Roberts at my back, and shout, any sawbones? No, how much did we get? Sawbones and chippy. The saucy maiden be looking for a ship's cook and another deckhand. Anybody interested? Come and see me. At the top of my voice, while trying to be persuasive.
CV's in crayon.
Right, so you buy a couple of rums and you sit.
CV's in crayon.
You
like any of them could write.
You buy a couple of rums and you sit down. You pick up a a generic like sea hand. He seems reasonably competent. You ask him a few basic questions and you sign him up. And then a small guy with a waxed mustache comes over, and he looks like down on his luck. He's like, Monsieur, you look for the cook. I am Alphonse. I am a chef from Old Earth. I have cooked for some of the greatest people in the entire of land. I have been in the French restaurant business my entire life. I have somehow ended up in this godforsaken place.
When we're looking at him, what sort of sense do we get of him? I mean, is he...
Give us a notice roll.
Oh, I wish you hadn't said that. That's why I wish you hadn't said that.
Get better at notice. You don't notice anything. Yeah, Brissy, you do get a good sense that he is telling the truth. Is there anything specific you want to know about him?
Where's he from originally on Earth? How long has he been here? And what has he been up to while he's been here?
This is, I'm originally from a small village outside of Paris. I ended up through here. I was on a ship working my passage. Something happened and then the ship was wrecked. I came ashore in this place called the Flotsam. And then I've basically gone from job to job because I can cook. I can... I've been traveling the world. As you can see, I am down on my luck because I am not much of a fighter. I am more of a lover.
Of course you are.
We could test him. Throw him a one potato, a garlic, wouldn't come up with.
At the cooking or the loving, because I ain't testing the loving. If you want to test that he's a leather, you're more than welcome to, but not me, mate. Yeah. Okay, we quite happy to...
There is no garlic on the boat. Is this a problem?
That's true. We don't actually have any garlic at the moment.
It says, ha, you peasants, you think we put garlic in everything. Well, no, we do not put garlic in everything. Plus, I have no garlic. So you will have a job putting in it.
I wonder if there is actually like a garlic-style plant in Charybdis. Just as an aside out of interest.
There has to be something with similar.
It's got to be similar.
I mean, otherwise, what would you frighten vampires with?
This is true. Okay, he can move his belongings aboard the Saucy Maiden. We shall be setting sail as soon as we've finished some minor repairs and reprovisioned the ship. Is there anything in particular he needs? I mean, he might want to come and have a look at the ship first and then make...
It's a hunk of junk.
This is not a ship, it is a boat. Shut up.
Zutelo, what is this piece of shit?
Yeah, okay, I can put up with a French guy.
Right. Do you have names for the other NPCs, or do you want me to just name them later?
I would like you to do it. I mean, you know, we didn't even bother asking. That's how shit we are.
Follow me, Gru. Cuthbert, Dibble, and
Cuthbert, Dibble, and Grub. Yeah. I don't really care. I know that sounds kind of mean.
However, it's known as Frenchie.
Yeah, poor Alphonse is probably just going to get known as Frenchie. I mean, let's be honest.
Right, okay, so they're officially Sawbones.
I will actually introduce him as
and Hand Cuthbert.
Will you stick that on the Scurvy Cruise notes then?
Yes, it's on the Scurvy Crew notes now.
Oh, God. Oh, this is Carry On Pirating, isn't it?
Yes, it is. What happens if I get eaten by sharks? I think they'll eat me whole. No, I believe they spit that bit out.
Right. I can't think of anything else we need to do, but, you know, heavily medicated, so I might have missed something. So what do you think, Mr. Roberts?
I think it might be worth investing in some netting, rope, big sharp sticks, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, to be honest, I've never hunted giant crabs, so I'm not entirely sure what the hell you would need to get them. I think trying to transport, we'd only be able to transport 4 giant crabs if they were alive, and I imagine that's going to be a major pain in the butt. Whereas we can transport a significantly larger number if we can somehow kill them, because obviously the Saucy Maiden isn't a massive ship. Sad but true. We just have to accept it. So what do you think?
If we kill them, though, how are we going to keep them fresh? Although it is only a day and a half, but still, they might go a bit rank by the time we get them back.
I don't know, preserve them in salt, maybe? That's a very good question. I honestly don't know the answer to that.
By sheer luck, they're only a day and a half away, so... But it depends how many's there. He said it sounded like quite a small island. You would run into serious troubles if you sailed all the way over to the land of the Red Men, not least because there was a monkey butt incident and a shaman, but also because obviously transporting them back would be an absolute nightmare.
What price did the guy say he was going to give us again? Was it $250 for dead ones and $500 for live ones?
Something like that.
All right, I think you're right. We should invest in trying to catch some alive stuff. If Admiral GM wants to work out how much that's going to cost. And then, because we might get there might only be 4 bloody crabs on the whole island, in which case we should try to catch them alive. But if we get there and there's more than 4, if there's 8 or more, dead would be better. We'd actually make more money. Because we can store 6 dead ones in each thing. So if there's more than 8, we'd make more money if we get them, if we capture them, if we get them dead. If there's not, then alive would be the better way to go.
We should have asked them what part of the crabs what you wanted to actually use us to eat, because if it's only the legs, good buddy, shoot them with the bloody 8-pounders.
Well, no. I mean,
no, he wants the one, but I do love the plan of shooting them with a fucking ship cannon.
So you just have a crab with a giant hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We'd spend ages climbing all over the beach trying to find bits of crab to bring back to the guy.
Think how many legs we could fit in the hole, though.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, it's a long time since I had lobster, right? But I'm pretty sure you eat all of it. Pinches, legs, body, the whole shebang. You just got to crack it out of its shell and nosh on it. Now, I've never eaten crabs, so I don't know what you eat. What do you eat when you eat a crab? Either of you ever had crab?
Nope.
Yes, I love crab. You eat the legs, you eat the claws, and you eat all of the insides. You pretty much eat everything of a crab other than the hard, crunchy bits.
Yeah, because they've got no bones or anything, so it's like, apart from organs, it's all meat. It's just never something that's appealed to me, personally. So we're not going to know the crack till we actually get to the island. So I think we should invest in some capturing gear, but also maybe invest in, like I said, I don't know what you preserve crab meat in. Does any of our crew know what you would preserve crab meat in?
That's the Frenchies.
Yeah, the French are the Massaquani twins.
Yeah, you would just use salt, I would imagine. Or like big vats of salty water to keep them cool, like you do with lager in the summer.
Okay, next question is, do all of our Jolly Jackknips actually make it back to the ship? And in what state are they when they get back?
Right, yes, the motley crew does arrive back at the ship.
Yay!
Mostly in one piece, to be honest. As you can imagine, they've been having a good hard carouse.
Are they all looking and feeling a bit better then?
Yes, they look much happier. They've lost all of the fatigue, and everybody looks particularly happy. Poor John Smith, spent 2 days passed out on the deck, but then
Lightweight. Sorry,
he's only a youngish lad. Do you know what I mean?
The Sprog.
He's 24. I mean, what the hell was he doing in Plymouth drinking tea? God damn it. Okay. Right, I tell the lads what the plan is. Introduce the new members of crew. Mr. Roberts is in charge of crab hunting as he came up with what we need.
That's right, lads. We're off to catch crabs, which, fun enough, is what you've been doing for the last 2 days.
Scritch, 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 scritch.
Sadly, those crabs are not big enough for the job we've got. You dirty beggars. And I think we should get our shit together and go crab hunting.
Crabbing, we will go.
Right, there's one last item that the said patron drops off at the docks for you. So it's a small envelope, and inside is some small cut up pieces of strange looking seaweed, and Mongrel says, "Oh, that is air seed. You land breathers, you chew it, and it lets you breathe underwater for a short time. Unfortunately, there's only a few pieces, and once you've chewed it for a while, then it loses its potency." With a note that says, "Well, sir, I do hear you're setting out. This might come in helpful to aid you in your endeavors." Mr. Roberts, you know from your time on Earth that you vaguely remember about crabs. Normal crabs are like carrion eaters. So if you get some fish, then people normally go crab fishing by putting dead fish on the end of lines or using them as bait or what.
Before we leave port, is there anywhere that's selling, cheap off cuts of meat and stuff like that we're going to use?
Oh yeah, you can get an offal from the local butchers or whatever. It's kind of
which is pretty awful. Sorry. Dad joke. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, let's chum. Then we will come up with the line. We need a bigger boat. Yeah, we'll go get a couple of barrels of stinky offal.
Okay, what do we see? Unless anything happens, what do we see when we approach the island of the crabs? Bum, bum, bum.
Crabby Island with Father Ted.
Dun, 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 dun.
Come on, Grog. Go on.
Give us a notice. Give me a notice roll, you scurvy dogs.
Oh, God, why is it always noticed? I don't notice. What is this stuff we're floating about on? I don't notice. Because I suck.
Right, so you pull up to the island. You don't say anything.
That's nice. Where'd you get that one from? The same place as the ship?
It doesn't have a large chest with open goals on it, but there is a dead body there with thing. No, I just get them at random places. And on the beach, Brissy, you see an enormous crab. The thing must weigh about 400 pounds.
Right. I am just messing about with the map. Trying to... Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Do I think we could get this crab in the launch without sinking it?
You do. It keeps resetting the size of me tokens every time you redo the map. I haven't figured that out yet. Right, so walking sideways along the beach slowly, its giant nippers are just sort of it's picking things up from the sand and then stuffing them in its mouth. And it's just slowly walking towards the left-hand side of the map along the beach, casually eating stuff that it finds.
Okay.
We could always just poison the offal. And then...
Yeah, but then the crab meat might be poisoned and it'd be no good for selling the restaurant.
We'll get a couple of days head start.
You were really taking to the pirate life, aren't you?
Equus is like, oh yeah, now I remember this island. The beach drops off quickly. It's quite deep underneath, and we might be here quite a while if we're going to be waiting for crabs to come up. They only occasionally come up for to eat something. I don't know whether you want to try and get some under the water or lure them out or whatever it is. I know you your pink skins are a bit problems with holding your breath.
Right. I ask Mongrel if he can jump in the water and have a look and see how many crabs are we talking about underwater. Because obviously he's a Kahana.
He says, yes, Captain, I can do this.
I like Mongrel.
Mongrel jumps overboard, disappears under the water. Let's give Mongrel a notice roll. I should have a Mongrel here somewhere.
You've got that really cool token you made of him.
Captain.
Aye.
You see that shark? That crab on the beach.
I
think it's that time
we
zeroed in the guns.
We've only got one gun so far.
All right. Zero in.
Which we're having to balance out with salt and other supplies to stop the ship falling over.
Yes, the ship is currently at a -1 to quick maneuvers if you are having one unbalanced gun.
Yeah. Well, that's all we could get, wasn't it? Because we won't get those chits until we've finished the job.
Well, let's arrange the guns anyway, and we'll use this one to see how good Frenchie is at cooking a meal.
You just want to fire the cannon, tell the truth.
Oh, yes, I do.
Right, Mongrel disappears under the water.
Let's see what Mongrel says before, when he comes back, and then we'll make a decision.
About 3 or 4 minutes later, Mongrel appears above and swiftly clambers aboard the boat, and he says, Mongrel, he see 3 crabs under the water. There's a shipwreck down there.
Ooh.
I'll give him a common knowledge roll.
like he says shipwreck and everybody's ears perk up. Shipwreck, you say? Possible treasure, you say?
He says, but the crabs are not native to where my people are from, so I cannot tell you any more about that. And he's not a wild dice, so he gets to roll the 1 dice.
Right, so here's the thing. We can only see a total of 4 crabs, right? However, if we can capture all 4 of these crabs alive, right, we can then piss about for a bit and maybe have a look around the shipwreck, see if we can find any juicy goodies. Or we can test the cannon, as you're calling it, blow one of them to pieces, and then have to go and look for more.
Or might get a little headshot and just like kill it.
If you fire an 8-pound cannon at a giant crab, there's going to be a shacking big hole through it. Assuming we hit, of course.
I'm not down with this plan working too well, Bracey, I've got to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying don't try it, but...
I mean, it'll be fun. You know, it might be fun, but it could waste a load of time.
All right.
So...
But if it makes a run, I'm shooting it.
Work out what this plan is going to be for trying to capture them while I have a quick bio. So you have to come up with a cunning plan, Mr. Roberts.
What is awesome about this adventure is it just says this is how much he pays for dead, this is much how he pays for life. How the PCs get it is up to them. So I am as in the dark about this plan as you are.
Right, quick AFK.
Okay.
Come up with a masterful crab heist plan while I'm bio. Be straight back.
Right, so to take a normal crab alive, you grab it by the back of the shell, and then what you do is put a rubber band around its giant nippers and then tie it off.
Yeah.
You don't have a rubber band, and
no.
You've got plenty of ropes, and these are gigantically big crabs. So
exactly, I ain't getting near it. I think we should just tie one of the hooks on, chuck a bit of offal in the sea, so it seems below the ship. The crabs will notice that after a while, come in, and then just drop the hook down, and basically do a giant version of fishing. As soon as it tries to, eat it, the hook will hopefully stick in a scob, and then we'll just pull it up, throw out one of the nets, drag it overboard.
I am all for you trying this. I think you should definitely have a go at this. It sounds awesome, but they are very big.
What we need is a big monkey god to wrestle it while we tie it up. Damn.
Right, okay.
Crabs actually move quite fast underwater, don't they?
They move quite fast on land, actually. The road sideways very quickly.
I suppose we could maybe set a trap on the land, like a big bit of rope with some offal in. The crab goes to grab it. We yank the rope, get it by its legs, and just basically drag it to a place where we can subdue it. Or just, drag it on the longboat, transfer it to the ship and pull it up, and then, I don't know, try and tie it up or something.
Arr, I be back.
Arr.
So, have you come up with a cunning plan? Does it involve a turnip?
No, it involves dynamite.
I'm not sure.
We're not in Deadlands.
I'm not sure that Mr. Roberts knows how crabs work, but I'm prepared to give anything a go.
What do you mean knows how crabs work? What was the plan you came up with?
Basically, just hook up the massive hook with a bit of offal, dangle it down on the floor, do some massive fishing. As soon as it takes the bait, pull it up, and then we'll try and hang it in the air and tie its legs off.
Oh, okay. Right, crabs normally move side to side. They have a hard time, or they can have a hard time getting back up if they're on their back. The pincers are the bit you really want to worry about, because if one of them gets hold of you with its pincers, it hurts.
Yeah. This is why I don't want to go near them on land or underwater.
I'm not entirely sure how they move about underwater. I think they just move the same way as they do on land, but on the seabed.
They can swim a little bit.
They can, but these don't look like they can swim because of the size.
I wonder if there's any way we could try and trip them. I mean, in any eventuality, we're going to have to bind the legs and bind their pincers.
We could try whittle this one buggers off and try and dig a massive pit in the sand.
That probably wouldn't work. What you can try and do is, if you can get in close enough, you can use the grappling reels to try and bind the crab's legs. Obviously, there's multiple people doing it, so you would get the gang up bonus.
Yeah,
it's in the Suede rule book. It's an opposed roll between the attacker and defender's athletics. If the attacker wins, he's entangled. With the raise, he's bound. Rules. There's a rule because of the size, however. So it will be more difficult. But if you've got like 3 or 4 people helping you.
Okay. I will try it. Right? We'll try what Admiral DM said.
So I mean, it would work if you get some of your rancid guts out of a bag and throw it on the end of a throw it on the end of a rope and try and get the crab to eat. Try and get the crab to eat the actual thing. It might get you close enough to.
Could we not hook the crab, pull it up, and then just tangle it in one of these massive nets that we've got?
Yeah, yes, when we go for the ones underwater, that's a good plan. There's 3 of them, right? We might be able to entice it closer to the surface with offal and do that. You know, like have a net lying flat to the side of the ship, pull the offal up slowly so the crab comes up, and then try and snag it in the nets and bring it aboard and bind it. We'll probably have to move the ship closer in though, because they're probably, I don't know. It might be a case of actually lowering the offal to the point where it can actually eat it on the seabed and then pulling it up, because we don't think crabs that size can swim. Given our massive amount of knowledge about crabs. And the one on the beach, if we chuck offal on the floor, and while it's invested in that, basically run up and try and bind it. You know, chuck the net over it and try and pull it down type of thing, and then get its legs and pincers bound as quickly as possible.
Well volunteered, Captain.
Well, I've got a D6 athletics. So, what are you like at athletics?
Oh, I'm only a D1 because I've got a gummy leg.
D1 because you big chicken. Right, who's
you
the
haven't
most
got
athletic?
You've got a D6 athletics, you liar.
Chef,
He's only doing that to get out of doing
He's
it.
cheating. That's what I'm saying. He's really chicken. That's why he's saying he's only got a D1, because there isn't such a thing, right? You're a brave pirate now. Remember? I think because the rowboat can only take 6 people, so unless you're genuinely bottling out of it, me, you, and whoever the four most athletic-looking crew members are. I seem to remember the Masakani twins being quite athletic, but obviously that's just an impression. I don't actually know. Senor Miguel Figueroa at 50 plus might not be particularly up for the job. Sawbone Chew, Chippy Pew, like it. So me, Sean, the twins, John and Mongrel. What does everybody think about that plan? I'm asking Mr. Roberts and the crew.
The crew says, "Hey, Captain."
I turn to just the crew going, in your varied careers, boys, has anybody ever wrestled a giant crab before? Just thought I'd ask.
Nobody has wrestled a giant crab, strangely enough.
We have a plan. Not a particularly good plan, but we've got a plan.
Yeah, so the giant crabs, are you loading into the rowboat? The giant crab slowly picks its way along this beach here.
Yes, that's right. This is a basic plan for the one on land. Is we're gonna jump in the rowboat, row up to the shore, relatively. I mean, having watched this creature moving along the beach and that, have we got any sense of how fast it is?
No, because it's just sort of sauntering along, picking through. I don't know if you've ever seen a crab just walking about, picking stuff out of the sand, eating it.
All right. Terrifying childhood story. When I was naughty at my great uncle and great aunties, they would chuck me in the backyard and lock me out there with live crabs and lobsters. So there you go. And when they're chasing a scared 6-year-old around the backyard, they can move quite fast.
Well, now it's time to get your own back.
Yar! So I would say rowing to shore, but like not right next to it, a reasonable distance away, and then lep out and get our offal ready, get the nets ready, the net ready, and let's try it. Basically, stick the offal down, sort of back off slightly, wait and see what the crab does. If it actually starts munching down on the offal, run in, chuck the net over it, and keep our fingers crossed. Just put the voice of optimism.
I'm up for that.
Well, Captain James McAllister would normally simply pull out his pistols one at a time and shoot it till it was dead. I'm hoping this way is going to make us more money. More money, more problems. Doctor Who for the win. Oh, combat tracker time. Uh-oh.
Right, this is the first round. What you can do is, in addition to just fighting...
I can't see the combat tracker. Oh, hang on.
Right, and you don't just have to fight. You can use skills to do a test to give you bonuses. So what I'm going to assume is that you are trying to do a trick to this crab with the offal to make it distracted. So who wants to do it?
What sort of skill would that be off?
A trick can be any skill that you justify. That's the way it works. So you go, I'm going to use this skill.
Right. I will The only skill that's kind of applicable is taunt, but how the hell do you taunt a giant crab? Your mother was a lobster! Your mother was a lobster, sorry.
If you shoot at it, it'll probably just bounce off from this range, but it'll get its attention.
I would suggest, because obviously literally any skill that you can justify in a situation you can use for a trick, I would say survival, intimidation, taunt.
Right. Taunt, intimidation for me are both D6. The only skills I've got that are a D8 are fighting and shooting.
So are you going to creep up to this crab and throw the offal down? Or are you going to get one of the scurvy crew to do it?
I think I'll do it, and I want the scurvy crew to be ready with the net. What do you think, Mr. Roberts?
Aye, Captain. That sounds like.
I'm cray enough to try it, basically. Right, so I'll put the offal down, and then, I know taunt's normally hurling insults at each other, which I haven't got the private insult generator open at the moment. Sort of, like wave, shout, try to make noise, get its attention, and then slowly back away from the offal, hoping that the smell of the offal will attract it and it'll lose interest in me. As soon as it starts moving towards us and the offal, then I'll stop making a noise when I think it's in range of the offal, so it'll pick up the smell. Does that sound legit?
Sounds good to me. So you move forward and then you hurl the offal.
Yeah. I move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from there, I'd like to throw the offal. So what skill would I use for throwing something? Is it athletics?
That's athletics, yeah.
My, that was awesome. So I guess I drop it at my feet.
Yes, you kind of drop it and it slops onto the sand. The crew look on and are not terribly impressed by it, to be fair.
I'm not terribly impressed by it. Right, and then I am going to...
I said, Captain, the big one, not your crabs.
Right, and then I shall start taunting it. Am I allowed to do that? I've moved, I've tried to throw. Am I allowed to start taunting, or do I have to wait until next turn?
No, you can go for it. It's fine.
Okay. Now that was a taunt.
Oh, now to determine how well the trick works, I have to make a smarts roll. Right, so Mr. Crab is distracted.
See, awesome plan. You're right.
For some reason, this crab is shown as a wild card, which it shouldn't be. Because if they're wild cards, that is really scary.
It's a giant freaking crab. I'm already scared.
Yeah, I'd be quite
scared. Not that I show them in, of course. Are our two twins both male?
Whatever you think, it doesn't really matter to me.
Let's make them one of each, yeah?
One of each, okie doke, will do.
Well, I don't know, because it's supposed to be unlucky to have a woman on a ship. Apologies to any female listeners, but it's supposed to be. So, yeah, just 2 lads. Otherwise, everybody will be trying to hit on one twin all the time.
By everybody, you mean Brissy?
Well, yeah, that is too. I mean, that is a really cute token. Prizes. That's me for this turn. That's all I'm doing this turn. Okay, so move forward, drop the crap, because I can't throw for shit apparently, and then taunt it. And the next part of the plan is next turn I start backing off and not taunting, because it looks like I've actually managed to get the first part of the plan to work.
Right, well, apparently I think I have successfully made the crab distracted.
Okay. Is this what's in the combat tracker at the moment? What actually happened this turn?
Yes, because I'm just trying to learn how to do distracted and whatever.
Okay. Well, in that case, it didn't give me a Benny for the Joker or for anybody else. Because am I getting this wrong? Don't you get an extra Benny if you get a Joker? Like for the
do, yes. Maybe because it didn't auto deal. I think that's why.
Okay.
However, right. Okay. So end of round. It should read deal now.
I am actually trying to.
Okay.
Nice. I am actually trying to learn how to do this properly. I swear.
As am I. Right. So there's two Jotars. There's the crabs and there's Mr. Roberts. So the crab moves forward towards. What's his pace? Wow.
Oh god, this is going to be another creature that can move for a bazillion, isn't it? Okay, that's not too bad.
But right, the crab moves to there, but because you succeeded, he starts eating the offal rather than attacking you.
Well, remember though, the offals at my feet, I literally dropped it. Totally spazzed when I tried to throw it.
That's true.
Because apparently I can't throw things.
Right, next up we have Mr. Roberts.
I will grab another piece of offal and move up to where the captain is close, and I will try and throw this bit of offal behind the crab. So it might go turn around and start eating that as well. And if it turns around, it's ours.
Right, okay, that's a trick. Make us an athletics throw then.
That's going to be a hell of a roll because you're going to have to get to me, which is 6 pace, and then throw it from there.
Please, bitches, 11.
Yeah, well, you'll have to move forward first. You've got pace of 6.
You're going to have to get closer to Mr. Krabby.
Right, the crab fails its road, so it is distracted and... how do we do the combat tracker again for effects?
I don't know.
I dragged the little thingy up. Oh, we're getting there now. We are definitely getting there. Right, so you've taken your action this turn. The crab is distracted, and it turns and eats the thing, not viewing you as much of a threat as of yet, as you've managed to use a trick on it. Next up is Case.
Combat chatter for me is only showing me and Sean. No, nothing else.
That's
the crab
right.
Or
that's right, because the combat chatter for me shows all of the stats and everything.
Yeah,
right.
But does it? I thought it. I mean, last time we played, it was showing everybody. You know what I mean? It was showing like all the farmers in the pub and all that stuff when we did that combat thing. Whoa, there we go.
Right, all right, because I haven't toggled the invisibility off. Right, we are getting there. Right, so Case moves forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. He looks nervous.
I'm
Captain
basically
McAllister.
right. I'm waving them forward because they've got the net. So I am going to wait to see whether the crew get close enough to throw a net over this thing.
Right, okay.
Am I allowed to do that? Like in D&D, I would be holding my action.
Yeah, you can hold your action. So
Right.
the crew, are you just... it doesn't matter, actually, because it's a D6 roll. So they all run forward.
Right. Doctor Who!
Everybody runs forward, holding a large net. And the crew have a throw the net in an attempt to grapple.
Right. Do we think we're close enough, the lads are close enough to do it? Oh, too late, you've rolled anyway. Okay, that's fair.
Right. So, however, they really suck at throwing nets, so the net falls short as they only rolled a 3.
Okay. Right. In that case, I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move there to give them a chance to get in closer, hoping the crab's still going to be distracted next turn. I mean, I don't know how long it. I don't know how long distracted lasts.
Oh.
It only lasts 1 turn, but if you want to try an agility trick to keep it distracted, after, because you can move and then do your action.
Right. Okay. Oh, what sucky roll that was.
Yeah, you kind of suck at this.
Just not getting. I used up all my good rolls when I did that massive.
Yeah, the crab beater and is not distracted. New round. Crabs go first on an ace.
Of course they do.
Right, as you are trying to avoid antagonizers, if you make a stealth roll, it won't start immediately attacking you this turn until you start attacking it. So if you give us a stealth roll, Mr. McAllister.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Right, the crab stops and sort of half turns, raises its claws up into the attack position, but it doesn't immediately attack you.
All right. Okay.
McAllister, you're up first.
Right. I say to the lads, try and get closer and try and get it with the net again. And then I'll hold my action to see what happens with that, if that's okay.
Right, okay.
I don't really want to start shooting it, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole net thing.
Could do a call shot and shoot its bloody eyes off.
Right, Mongrel moves forward, grabs the net, and he's going to have a go with the agility.
See, just the way the cards fell this way, this turn, they're all in the same place, so to speak, on the initiative.
Oh wow, okay. He manages to Right. The foot is entangled, so he grabs the net off the sand and throws it over the crab enough that it is temporarily entangled.
Awesome sauce. Right. Okay, so it's got entangled. I say to the rest of the lads, grab the net and try and flip it. Try and flip the crab. If they manage to do it, me and you run in, Sean, and try and tie its legs up as quickly as possible.
Yep. Right, so what you do is, he's got it entangled briefly. The crew all run in. And are they going to try and grapple it further, yeah?
Yeah, so basically trying to hold
the end.
You know, trying to like pull the net tight type of thing and hopefully flip it. Assuming they make the original type of roll to be able to do the first part of it, would we be able to use a Benny to help them try and flip it? Or can we only use those on ourselves?
You can normally only use them on yourself. There are specific edges where you can use bennies on other people.
All right, okay. See, now I wish I was helping them. Dope.
Right, so Pirate Karas. I need more screen estate. That's what I need.
Like every kind of thing.
More than one crab. Oh no, it's not. It was my.
Yeah, though the three were in the water. Remember?
One crab on the truck. On my truck. I was like, oh shit.
Well, it kind of is. The three of them could come out of the water and start kicking the crap out of us. I mean, so they're still there. They're just at the minute they're in the water. If I hook up my second monitor, will I be able to drag some of this stuff off onto the second monitor to make it easier to see stuff?
You have to extend it and then set the resolution as one big screen.
I can do that. I think I remember how to do that. Yeah, I think I'll try and sort that out ready for the next time we'll play, because like pulling stuff backwards and forwards in front of things is kind of spoiling it a bit for us.
Right.
That was all I wanted to ask you. Yeah.
The gang up bonus applies when grappling and defender, but other maneuvers don't. So he got a 2.
Oh, okay.
But he gets the gang up bonus of 3, so that makes it a 5, and the crab is vulnerable, so they get a +2, so that makes a 7. So they managed to wrestle the crab onto its back, and it starts thrashing its legs about. It's partially entangled in the net, but they seem to have managed to flip it onto its back.
Right. Okay. I want to rush in and try to start binding its legs. Okay? Because I'd held my action other than saying, get it, lads. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. So you run in, and that's probably going to be...
I'm going to move to about there. Has Sean had his this go?
Not yet.
No, you're up, Sean, if you want to go. Basically goes after Mr. McAllister.
What would I roll to try and bind its legs?
I mean,
when I'm saying bind its legs, well, you know what I mean by bind its legs.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I went off at a tangent there for a second, don't
I? I would accept athletics. I would accept fighting, maybe.
Fighting. I'd rather try it.
It is struggling hard, and you're just trying to basically entangle it up.
Yeah, just tie its legs up.
It will
Okay, fingers crossed.
It will make an opposed strength check.
Wow.
Hot bastard.
Finally, a decent roll. Depends on what the crab gets.
The crab only gets an 8. Right. So there's much thrashing and the pincers whip left and right, but between the lot of you, you bind up its legs. The crew's got it on its back. It's vulnerable. And then it's just a case of grabbing the pinchers and putting those in.
But I thought that was a bit too much to try and do all of that in one turn, so I was going to...
So you've got it flipped. You've got its legs bound. Okay, Mr. Roberts, you're up next.
Right. Can we try and slip a rope over like the inside of one of these pincers? So then we can start wrapping it round.
Yeah, you're going to try and bind a pincer. Is that what you're trying?
Bind the pincer closed.
Yeah, that's an agility trick. Just give us an agility roll.
Yeah.
For a success, it's not a particularly awesome success, but it's a success.
Right, the crab gets a 3 on its smarts roll because basically it just does it by reflex. So it grabs hold of the rope and it's distracted. So you start to wind it up. You quickly wrap the rope around the claws and you have the crab immobilized.
Did he manage to get both? Like,
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
He does one, and then basically he loses the rope as the other one, and swiftly binds it.
So, crazy. We have no idea what we're doing. Plan actually worked.
Yes, it did. Unfortunately, you got really good rolls. And I never got to snip you. Snip.
Awesome. Yeah, we've still got to catch 3 more crabs yet, so I'm sure you'll get revenge.
Can I have a notice roll to see if anything else has come out of the water or out of the jungle to attack us while we're distracted?
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah, you can have a notice roll. Right, well,
yes, 15 monkey gods come out of the jungle and stop punching you in the face. I shall also have a look about... but let's face it, we know how awesome I am at notice. Yeah. 5. It's like, I think that's the best notice roll I've gotten all evening, actually.
I have randomly rolled, and I said it was going to be unlikely that there was another crab that came out, but the GM emulator said, yes, there was a crab came out. So another crab has come out onto the beach.
Oh, God.
Further along the beach in a random location.
Yeah, well, we want them to... Well, we don't necessarily want them to come out of the water, but we're trying to capture 4 ones alive. Yeah, so, to be honest, I thought capturing them underwater might have been easier, but there's not a lot we can do about that, you know what I mean?
GM emulator says, yes, a crab has just come meandering out onto the beach in a completely random fashion.
Arse.
Right, we can probably get the net back off the crab, but I think we probably should try and get the crab we've caught back to the ship, refresh offal, refresh rope, and then come back. Rather than trying to...
where this crab starts wandering up the beach. If it goes away from us, yeah, that's easy. If it doesn't, then we could be in trouble.
Well, if it doesn't, we're just going to have to work with what we've got. But we've still got a net. But unless we can tie it up in the net somehow, we won't be able to subdue it like the way we've just done, because I'm not sure we've got enough rope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We could get the net as rounded as possible and then tighten the net type of thing. Well, let's see what the crab does. Let's see what the other crab does.
Right, well, I am going to roll a d12 and see which direction it wanders in. So that's 12 o'clock. So it starts wandering 8 o'clock. So that way. Yeah, so it starts wandering towards 8 o'clock.
Is it taking any notice of us yet?
It has noticed that you're there.
Right.
Yes, it has noticed that you're there. But it hasn't rushed towards you to attack because it's more of a scavenger. It'll get attacked when you get close normally. It was only your trick skills.
Right, so what do you think we should do then, Mr. Roberts? Well, where's our boat on the map at the minute?
Your boat is where those little rocks are behind the big crab.
Yeah, that's a problem.
There's a fair chance it'll probably see the other crab lying there and think it's probably dead, go in and try and attack it and eat it.
Well, it's still moving. The crab that we've caught's still moving. I mean, I imagine the crab's not very happy. How long would it take us to disentangle the net from the crab that we've already caught? Is the question. Admiral GM.
Right, well, what you should do is give an agility roll to untangle it from the crab.
Okay. Two sevens. Is that good enough, or do we need to spend a penny?
No, 7's a success. Anything over a 4's a success.
Right, okay, so try and capture this other one with just the net.
Right, so what I'm going to do is, rather than run this as a combat, I'm going to try it as a dramatic task. So it's basically a cut-down task.
Right.
So you deal the cards as normal, and if you get a club, you get a complication.
Oh.
Mongrel's got a complication. Right, so for each person, what you need to do is basically you say what you're doing and what the team's doing. Each person gets a skill roll. If you succeed, you get a success token. If you raise, you get 2 success tokens, and you need to get 3 tokens for each person attempting the crew within a certain number of rounds. Okay, doc. So basically, you just say, give an outline of what you're doing, roll your appropriate skills.
I think we should all try and grab this. The net. We've managed to untangle the net off the other one. I think we should all try and grab the net, move towards the other crab, throw it over it, and try and bring it down, and then fasten the net around it. Because I think that's the only option we've got, given the equipment we've got left.
I'm probably going to regret this, but shall I go out in front of it to try and distract it, to turn it away from you lot, so you can get the net over the back of it? You know, not threateningly, but so enough so it notices and goes, what the?
Well, let's have a look at the...
Yeah, so what you would say in this case is you would say, right, so Captain McAllister's grabbing the net and he's running towards the other crab. Basically, you're going to distract it, and then you tell me what skill you're going to use. Intimidate, persuasion, taunt, combat skill, whatever skill you think is appropriate.
Could I use athletics?
Yeah, absolutely. You run around, wave your arms in front of it really fast.
Yeah, but not in a threatening way.
doing backflips and shit in front of it. Here, Mr. Growy. Flip, flip, flip.
And I know somewhere there's a thing to set it for dramatic task, but I can't find it.
Yeah, we'll work it out eventually. I mean, we all like this enough to actually get licenses, so
this is why I
want to learn how to use it properly. You know what I mean?
This is why I'm doing all of this stuff, like different ways and what have you. So, right, give us a dramatic task, Brissy. So, who's up first? The crabs. The one of them struggles on the floor, but can't break free. First up is John Smith. What do you want John Smith to do? Is he helping wrestle the crab?
Yes, I want him to get hold of the net with us.
One end of the net, yeah.
Right, so Sean, do you want to move your person wherever you're going to be?
Crab's moving down there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. About
right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About there. So that when it moves in between us, it'll turn to face me, which means all you lot are behind it.
Fingers crossed.
Right, so John Smith's going to make his agility roll to try and contribute to the dramatic task.
Okay.
He succeeds, so you gain 1 token.
Woot.
What? So he runs over with you holding the other end of the net, and you start to entangle the leg of the crab. The crab snaps at you with its claws, but it hasn't done anything yet.
Can I use my agility for this?
Yeah, you can. So you're attempting to
contribute to wrangling the crab with the net. I only got 4. Yeah.
Right, a 4 is enough. So you between you and John Smith, you managed to both entangle almost the entire side, one side of the legs of the crab.
Sweet.
Mr. Roberts, you're distracting the crab and dancing around in front of it, trying to get it to attack you.
Indeed.
So make your roll.
Ooh.
Oh dear, it's a failure.
I'll Benny that.
Okay, drop a Benny in the thing.
Oh, Roberts is using a Benny. Much better. Well spent, sir. Well spent.
That's also a raise, so that's 2 successes. So you have 4 successes so far. You need 15 successes over 5 rounds. Unfortunately,
that might be doable.
Well, you're still on the same round, basically. Case, what is Case doing? Is he just trying to help wrestle?
Yeah, the same. All of the crew and me are trying to do it. Because I mean, it's a giant crab.
So that is... he got another raise, so that is 6 successes.
6 so far. Yeah, 6 so far.
Right, you're really getting this crab. Unfortunately, Pirate Mongol has hit a complication, drawn a club, and is at -2. Right, he fails, so you don't get a thing, but also the crab, it snaps a claw free of the net and slaps out at Mongol and tries to kill him.
No, Mongol, no!
No Mongol crush.
Mongol, no crush.
You want to stick one of the twins in there, because
All right. So I know.
Right,
I've got
and
to go.
the
Move the track
remaining
up.
twin, right? The remaining twin stay at the first crab to make sure it doesn't wiggle itself free.
Right.
Yeah.
He hits poor Mongrel.
No.
Mongrel takes a wound.
Does
And
that
he's
kill
an
him?
he's an NPC, so he is incapacitated.
No!
He may be dead. We have to roll on the injury chart later on. But
Oh,
Mongrel
yeah.
goes down.
Damn it. Okay. Right, so one twin should already be at the crab, and the other twin should stop at the first crab that's already tied up.
Right, are you sure, or do you want them both to help?
No, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise the other one could wiggle free while we're trying to capture the second one, and then we're stuck in the same boat again.
Right, okay, so
well, that's what I think. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I say go for it.
Right, so Pirate Case is also going to get a success, bringing them the total to 7.
Okay.
That's 7 successes in the first round. That's like, wow. Round 2, Pirate Case is going again. He continues to try fighting, and he has a joker. Wow, nice. 2 raises, so he adds 3 successes. I'm not sure.
So that takes us to 10.
Yeah, so you've got 3 rounds, and you need another 3 successes. It's quite easy. But the crabs, all the crabs have got clubs this round as well.
Mongrel's incapacitated.
Poor Mongrel's down, incapacitated.
No.
Captain McAllister.
Okay, same again.
5, that's another success.
So on 11. Go, John, go. Go, John, go. Go, John, go.
He failed so bad. In fact, he fumbles, so you lose a success.
Oh, God damn it, Doctor Who. Why? Why?
Errol Roberts, what are you doing, sir?
Help.
Does it look like I need to drag Mongo out of there, or can I get into the fight?
You can get into the fight. He's not going to you're not going to find out what's happened to him until afterwards, anyway.
Yeah, I just don't want him going for Mongo while he's down again. What the hell? I'll move in on the other side and have a go.
I can roll his incapacitation now if you want.
I hope he's not dead.
Just so you know, if it rolls on a 2 on a 2d6, it says unmentionables. If the injury's permanent, reproduction is out of the question. So there is a possibility he's had his knackers snipped off.
Yeah, we should really find out what happened to the poor bugger.
Guts injury. So he's got a gut wound, so he's slowly bleeding out into the sand.
Right, okay.
And
we've got to finish dealing with this crab before we can get the rope.
Yeah, I'll get stuck
to the showboat.
All right, Errol. So what are you going to do?
I don't know what to try to do. Just get on its back, bind its legs. What?
Yeah, well, so dramatic
try
has
to grab this net and pull it over it.
Yeah, dramatic has to kind of like fate where you describe what you're doing. So yes, if you want to heroically leap on its back while trying to wrestle it, that would look awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm a crab rider.
Right, so Errol uses his agility, or no, athletics. It would be athletics to leap onto the back of the crab, Sean. Grab on the side of its shells and and gets whipped backwards and forwards like a bad Harryhausen effect.
Errol Crab Wrangler Roberts there.
Go on, Crab Wrangler. Give us an athletics roll. That is a success, bringing the total to
back to 11.
Back to 11.
After Jones screwed up.
You leap on, you're hanging onto its shell by either side, and it's thrashing backwards and forwards as your legs are like flopping about. Right. The crab's on clubs, so he's on -2.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to break a claw free.
No.
Right, so he breaks a claw free and he takes a wild stab at 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, he's at -2 because he sucks his turn. The claw snips out. And what happens? He gets a 1. Right, so Dr. Smith dives to the side as the claw goes.
So he misses him.
He does, yes.
Go for that.
Pirate Karas is just babysitting the other one.
Yeah.
And it's a Raydale, round 3. Mr. Roberts.
I'll try pulling the net over again and re-entangling it.
Right, so with one hand, you hang onto its back like a hero riding a car in a car chase, and the other you grab hold of the net and pull. Go on, athletics.
Nice.
That's a raise. That's 2 successes. Sorry.
Takes us to
13.
13.
Actually, no, you had a club, so you were at -2, so that was only a 7. So that was 1 success.
So that 12.
So 12. Next up, poor mongrel bleeding on the floor.
No.
Pirate Karas. No.
It's the babysitting one.
Yeah, Pirate Case.
Roll good.
He does roll good.
Yay!
He gets a raise for 2 successes. Is that enough to finish it off?
Yep.
Right, so quite easily, rather a lot easier than I expected, to be honest. Pirate Case sort of runs underneath the crab and drags the net round under its legs and heaves, and the crab flips over onto its back. You quickly tie its legs and its claws together.
Well, that was a bloody miracle.
Right, has anybody got first aid?
I haven't got any healing skills at all.
Mongol's sitting on the floor and holding his guts, which is bleeding out. He's like, Mongol hurt.
Has anybody got any ability
I've got healing. Yeah.
Right, bind him so we can get him back to the ship so the doctor can work on him.
Yeah, I'll have a go at that.
Right, Bracey, you are at -1 because you take his wound into account as a penalty. So you put -1 in the modifier and then give it a go on the healing.
Roll good. 4.
4. That is a success. So it's enough that you can basically you bind his guts in. And you do a good enough job to get him back to the sawbones on the ship.
Cool.
Right, so You go in the rowboat with them because obviously you'd like the only healer. Take them back to the ship. I don't know how safe it would be to stick one of the crabs in the rowboat while we've got an injured man. So take him back, then come back, and we'll start getting the crabs across.
I'll leave whatever ropes and nets we've got in the boat just in case another one happens to pop up.
God, I hope they don't. But okay.
And then I'll row as fast as I can back to the ship and then get back.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Because I don't want Mongrel to die, right? I've got to be honest. I'll be upfront about it. I don't know our only Kahana crew member to bite the big one. I don't want any of them to die, except maybe Alphonse. Depends on how good he is at cooking. I'll be honest.
Well, Alphonse has a D8 in cooking because that's what he's skilled at, so that's pretty good.
So that's our plan for this part of the story is Lieutenant Earl Crab Wrangler Roberts takes Mongrel back to the ship with the twin that's not babysitting a crab, so they can row back as quick as possible to get them to Sawbones, then come back and we'll manhandle these crabs into the rowboat and take them back into the and get them stored below decks. And then we've got the two on the seabed to contend with. Now, do we want to... I mean, I don't know what's the situation work-wise tomorrow for you guys?
I'm off.
I'm off. However, what we're going to do is the remaining two, we're going to try a different type of encounter, which is a quick encounter, which is basically, rather than doing the extended one, it's a single die roll. If you fail, you take a wound, and if you critically fail, you take D4 wounds. So what I need each of you to do is, because we're using the same kind of plan, you're putting the chum on the end of the rope with the hooks, and you're dragging the crabs up.
Yeah, basically we're lowering it so they hopefully get entangled on the hooks, trying to eat the offal and chum and stuff, and then trying to haul them up to the side of the ship, and then entangle them in the net that we've already placed on the side of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm trying different types of encounter out for each one. So what we'll do is we'll just call this a quick encounter. So what skill be appropriate, do you think, for each of you? If you fail, you get a wound. And if you critically fail, you get a D4 wounds, which may or may not incapacitate you.
Right. I say it should be either agility or athletics. For me, I'd prefer agility.
I would argue either strength or athletics because you're hauling a 400-pound crab up on the end of a rope.
It doesn't matter for me then which one. I've got D6 in strength and D6 in athletics. Right. Strength, yeah.
So each of you roll for each crab. So we'll roll a strength roll for both of you, and we'll see if the
all right. There's crab number one's roll, and crab number two's roll was crap. I took a wound.
Yeah. So you take a wound. You do manage to get out onto the deck, and you manage to get wrestled down and tied up. However, you get sloppy at one point. The crab reaches out and snips you with its nipper, and you take a wound.
Right. Can we try and see if we can work out how to soak damage with a Benny, seeing as I've actually taken some damage?
Yes. What you do, well, because we're not using the combat tracker, what you do is make a vigor roll. And if you succeed, then you soak it. Yes.
Right.
So
do I drop a thing in to say I've spent a Benny?
Yes. So basically what happens is you make a vigor roll, and if you succeed, you soak 1 wound. If you get a raise, you soak 2 wounds. If you get another raise, you soak 3 wounds, etc. So yes. So it gives you a nasty nip, but you're like,
I mean, I'm not bothered. I'll take the wound if you want, so we can test out
fine.
how that works.
That's what sort of wounds are for. Basically, you're heroes, so you should be doing that all the time. So we thought it gives you a nip, but basically, you're so tough, you just take it down like, I'm that. Yeah, big scurvy crab. So you fill your holes up with live crabs. Basically, you have to once every hour or so you haul buckets of seawater up and douse them over to keep them alive.
Right, before we sail off though, you know that seaweed stuff we got, how long do we think it'll last for breathing underwater? Because there was a shipwreck down there, and originally I'd planned to get Mongrel to swim about the shipwreck and see if there was anything worth nicking, but as he's obviously poorly because he got a gut wound, the thing is I don't have swimming skill. Pirate who can't swim. How brave is that?
It's athletics.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual.
Because they changed it, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a hindrance. If you can't swim, it's actually listed as a hindrance in 50 fathoms because obviously pirate who can't swim. Yes, the seaweed is completely ripped off from Marine Boy, if you remember that.
I do. I like that.
So the seaweed, unfortunately, because it's seaweed, once it dries out and completely it becomes useless, so you can't keep it forever, and you reckon it'll last up to about an hour. As you chew it, it'll oxygenate your blood.
Right, so I mean, I didn't ask Mongrel to check the first time. We were checking for crabs. So
for now.
So crab wrangler, what do you think? Should we use some of the seaweed up and check out the shipwreck? Or
oh hell yeah, I'm going for a laugh.
Is there enough for the two of us to do it?
Yes, there's enough for the two of you to swim down.
I'd like to try and do that and see if we can.
Can we get the boat positioned right over the shipwreck and dangle some lines down, just in case something goes wrong? And we'll say, if we're tugging on the rope, that's a signal to pull us up quick.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
aye,
take a couple of water skins, empty them out, fill them with air, because if they're watertight, they should be airtight, I would have thought, just in case it does run out, and we can maybe get an extra couple of breaths of air out of this thing. That might get us to the surface.
That is an even better suggestion.
Yeah, so basically, as you submerge under the water, this is what you see.
Are there two new crabs, or are they not there anymore?
No, they're the ones that you've done now. So I'll remove those.
So is that actually legit? There's a gigantic hole there.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a gigantic hole, and not only that, you realise as you're swimming down, you've been using offal and stuff to bait crabs with.
I think we should get out of here.
I mean, there's nothing here at the moment, but obviously you realise that you've been chumming the water effectively, and you don't know how long it would take to swim down and search the ship.
I mean, the pirate side of nature is like, we might find a cannon, we might find a small box of gold, or something else useful. But on the other hand, that is a really big hole in the middle of a ship that's been wrecked.
I've seen the title of this map as well.
Yeah, right. I hadn't actually seen that until you mentioned it. But that looks like something took a massive chunk out of that ship and brought it down. So maybe not having our ship parked directly over the top of it.
Hey, he said it, not me.
Right, I look at you, I look at this giant hole, I look at you again, and sort of like shrug at you like, what should we do?
Well, my first instinct is to return to the surface. It would be terrible if someone was curious, wouldn't it? Oops.
Are you curious?
Yes, he's curious. He really wants to go down in that ship. Obviously, you can't talk.
Well, I'm loyal to you, so if you were loyal to each other, so if you can't overcome your curiosity, I will quite stupidly follow you down there.
I just smile at you and swim down.
Right. And I'll roll my eyes and follow him.
Would the captain's cabin bit be on the
arse end of the ship?
Bit, not the pointy bit?
It's on the
Oh.
back of the ship.
And I'm
usually,
keeping an eye out for
usually
any,
below the poop deck, which is kind of unfortunate.
any big swimmy, sharp tooth things.
Right. Well, what I am going to do is consult the GM emulator and see if
see what horrible crap happens to us.
Yeah, you get a Benny,
Awesome.
by the way, for playing the hindrances.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So you've got so many Bennies, which you may need. Right, I'm going to say it is somewhat likely that a shark is going to be attracted by your chum in the water, and I'm just going to press the go button.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yes. So...
Oh, God.
It could be a little shark.
Yeah, it also could be a ginormous
there
megalodon or whatever they were called.
There are no little sharks in Charybdis.
Plenty of food for sharks in this world.
It's a giant whale shark. That's okay with Seth.
Right. So I am going to ask you to, first of all, make an athletics roll to see if you can get to the ship first.
Okay. Oh, God.
Okay, you both failed to get the ship. Are you going to Benny them? Make a notice roll.
Well, there's me Benny, and there's me other athletics roll, and there's me notice roll. I don't know what I got because the maps are big.
You both got a success on your notice roll, and you both got a success on your thing. So you swim down to the captain's cabin bit, and you basically... Robert's got a higher roll, so he like tugs at your arm and points, and you see like the old silhouette of a shark swimming overhead, just underneath the boat.
How big?
So do you copyright?
Big and nasty.
Is it now between us and our boat, our ship?
It is, yes.
So we might as well quickly search the cabin. You know what I mean? We're going to have to deal with it, but, yeah.
Let's awaken the Kraken. That'll scare the shark off. Oh.
That's not a plan. That's suicide. Okay, we'd like to quickly go through whatever's left of the captain's quarters.
Okay, give me a notice roll to see if you find anything.
Oh, God. Okay. What'd I get?
9.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell. It's a miracle! I've got to be honest, I do like Savage World System.
My NPCs, there you go. And I need to go to all, and then I need to search for, guess what?
Drugs.
And you know, I really don't like sharks.
Yeah, I know. I know you do.
This is all your fault.
Really, it's our fault. Okay. That's kind of a unique perspective, but whatever. Problem is as well, Sean, we're not going to be able to use our guns underwater. In fact, I haven't.
Oh, it's got a horrible fucking graphic of a shark as well.
Well, just put something else on, a fluffy kitten or something like that, something that's not going to stress you out.
Oh, you're not going to like a shark at all. Not at all.
I mean, come on, remember you had us riding around on, what was it, a bear and a bloody goat or something?
There you should be able to see it now, swimming above you.
I don't know, that actually looks kind of cute. It looks like it's got something hanging out of its gob and it's smiling.
It's smiling because it's got a sail hanging out of its gob.
Oh, poor sail.
Right, so you're in the captain's cabin. You've had a look.
Dougal, big but far away.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the treasure tables because you do find something.
There's one thing that I really want to find.
1,000,000 pieces of it? Yeah.
Nope, a pirate's pistol.
Right, I'm going to say that you find it's classed as pillage, so you get 1d10 times 100 pieces of it in various coins.
Nice.
You get 100 because I suck at rolling.
Plus 100 from treasure. Okay, I wrote that down. Is that each or in total?
That's in total between you.
Right. So I'll just put plus 50 on mine.
Right, there's a 25% chance of finding a relic, so I'm going to roll it into the thing now for you.
I can't see for the map.
Unfortunately, it's a 70, so you don't find any plunder.
Okay.
Any relics, sorry.
I look at you, just start pointing up. I really don't want to spend any more time down here now if we don't
Well,
have
how want to get past the shark?
Cutlass.
Well, that is your friggin' fault, isn't it?
We've got the other part of the ship to search first, man.
You really want to try? Okay. All right, then, yeah. You're just so curious.
We'll hug the rocks, keeping an eye where the shark is, and...
That sounds like that's a stealth roll versus the shark's perception, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not very good at stealth. Okay, here we go. What I get?
15.
Wow! I've got a D4 on stealth.
And I got 5.
5 is a success?
Dear, let's have a look at Mr. Shark. Mr. Shark's notice is a D12.
Oh, God. Roll one.
Right. Mr. McAllister, it hasn't noticed you. However, it has noticed Mr. Roberts, and the Killer of the Deep heads towards him like a veritable torpedo. Round one. Errol, make a notice roll to see if you notice. Right, so you're about here. Mr. McAllister is in this bit of rubble here. That's why it hasn't seen him. He's slightly ahead. Make a notice roll to see if you see it coming.
Both of us.
I did see I was keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, you succeeded. Right, so you notice that this thing has gone psycho and is heading towards you. Oh, shit, it's got a pierce of 10, man.
Oh, God.
And it is making the run action.
No,
Right.
Don't eat my friend. No.
What are you going to do now, Mr. Errol? You're first.
Take cover under that wreck.
You're going to try and hide in there with us?
Damn right.
Yeah, you can take cover. That will give the shark a -2 for partial or -4 for full cover. Okay, doc.
If we'd have gone straight up and it had seen us, would have had no chance, Sean.
Mr. McAllister, right, you see this goddamn shark coming swooping down like a torpedo. What are you going to do?
I would like to hold my action till it's close enough to stab in the face with my cutlass.
Okay, I will let you do that.
Basically, because it's going for Sean, so as soon as it's close enough, I'm going to try and gank it. Because obviously I don't want Sean to die. Because that would suck.
But you were like, you'll never beat riding a crab. I just look at you go, hold my pint.
Crab Wrangler and Shark Warrior. So are you actually in this thing with us now, or are you on the other side of this thing?
I'm
confused.
falling in with you. It's like, I know what taxidermy man in the port. He could have a heart attack when you see what we bring him.
We're going to have to try and kill it as quick as we can, and then kill it or drive it off, and then swim for the ship.
It's if it swims off by itself, we will know we're in deep, deep crap.
Yeah, if the shark looks scared and swims away, we've got to move real. Literally all I've got though is my cutlass. I haven't even got my brass knucks because I don't want to weigh myself down too much.
Yeah, you were going to take a stab at us as it swims past, weren't you?
I'm trying to do a sneak attack on it when it's going for Sean. Because that's who it's locked on to at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. That's basically what I'm trying to do.
Right, make a stealth roll. If you succeed, you've got the drop, which I'll add to your sheet. 3, you suck. So yeah, you get a normal attack rather than the drop.
Okay. And am I just going off cutlass?
Yes, just off cutlass. Right, you didn't have it targeted.
Oh, sorry. Should I do that again then?
Yeah.
What a sucky roll.
You can Benny it if you want to re-roll.
Yeah, I think I better. That's better.
Ooh, hit with a raise, so that's an extra D6 damage. Go on then, sir. Give it a roll for the damage. That's a wound. He's just an NPC. Oh, incapacitated. So as it swips past and takes a mighty bite at Bracy, your cutlass flashes out and stabs into the side, and like blood sort of pours out into the water, and it sort of flops over and like floats to the bottom of the ocean.
If it sinks down this hole, we're in the shit.
Well, that's where it's going. So basically, I'll then look at you and frantically start pointing upwards. Let's get to the bloody ropes and get the hell out of here.
Can we see any cannons lying on the floor?
You really want to try and lift a cannon? We'd have to get to the cannon, tie a rope off, assume we had a rope long enough, and get the lads to haul it up when there's a bloody shark sinking into that giant maw.
What's the worst that could happen?
It's
we could lose the ship.
Pretty bad idea, to be fair.
All right. Okay, then we'll just go.
Right, and if we successfully do this, we get a chit for 2 cannon off Captain Carlos.
All right.
So we're still about chasing a cannon down from where we want to be, but we'll be 2 cannon closer to having our max load. And I have no desire to see the ship get destroyed or you get munched off a giant monster.
It's a bit late to say now, Rich, but could I have had a notice roll as we were swimming down to see if I could see anywhere what the name of the ship was?
Oh, I never thought of that either.
You could have, but it's not evident. It's either been destroyed or it's underneath all of the coral or whatever.
Right. Does it look like it's been down here a long time?
Yes, it does.
Okay, no problem.
I think we should just be happy with our 50 gold pieces and get out of Dodge.
Yeah, it's GTFO.
Right, you swim back to the surface. The crew look a little panicked. As the Sawbones is busy stitching Mongrel's guts back up, and the Equus is like, "I saw a bloody shark coming down there for you. I thought you were chum, to be honest."
The shark's no longer a problem. Let's sail back to where were we from? Burgundy Bay.
Yeah, he says it's a good job that was only a little one. To be fair.
I don't even want to think about that. Let's just get the hell out of here.
Right, so you climb aboard ship and you set sail. You've got the crabs all tied up in the hold. You throw seawater over them now and again, and you sail back to Burgundy Bay without any difficulty.
I'm going to split my 50 of the treasure up equally among the lads, so they all get 5 each, keeping nothing for myself. Seeing as we were so successful with the crabs, and we got this extra 50, I got this extra 50 for nothing, thinking of it as a bonus for a job well done.
Well, that is most excellent, and your morale improves no end. Right, you sail back to Burgundy Bay, and then you send one of the lads to Mr. Davies' restaurant. He turns up on the docks. He's got a couple of bodyguards with him. He's still wearing his white suit with his bow tie. And he's like, "Well, sir, I do declare I did not think that you would be able to do this. Certainly not the live ones, anyway."
How does he keep that suit clean?
It's amazing, isn't it? So the giant crabs are loaded onto carts, and he says, "A deal's a deal, sir." And he gives you... It was 500 per live one, wasn't it?
Yep.
It gives you 2 grand, signed by the coalition, to collect the 2 cannons from Captain Carlos's colossal cannons. So you receive the cannons. They are fitted to the ship, and
the chit just allows us to buy them. We still pay the money for them, yeah?
Yes.
Right. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Basically, you finish the night in the pub, as a good night's finished, and you toast with a nice rum to a job well done.
Is Mongrel going to survive?
Yeah.
Yeah, we better roll the doctor's medicine, haven't we? A 13. Yes, he's certainly going to survive.
Yes.
He's stitched up worse gut wounds than that.
That is awesome. I mean, I was prepared to pay for another doctor if our doctor couldn't do it, to be fair.
And you've successfully completed the second Savage Tale.